D.D. Kumbar, sir, President, Indian Library Association. Dr. Kumbar has joined us. Thank you, sir. You are welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Veruka, sir, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sir, 323 participants has already joined us. And I can see in question answer round also there is one question. The webinar.
Dr. Priya.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Rajan Veruka, sir, joined here.
Sir, joined?
Yes.
Yeah. I am here.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Welcome,
On behalf
sir.
of the Indian Library
Thank you.
Association, you are most welcome, sir.
Sir, you are not visible on the screen. You are not visible, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, he is visible here.
Yes,
From
yes.
He is visible from here.
Welcome, sir. Good afternoon.
Very good
Namaste.
afternoon, sir. You are
Namaste.
welcome,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Namaskar.
Good afternoon, sir.
Namaste.
Good afternoon. Am
Good
I
afternoon, sir.
visible now?
Yes, sir.
Very good afternoon, sir. Sir, I would like to tell you that more than 342 participants has already joined us.
Great.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Just before.
Sir, we will wait another 2 more minutes so that more
Yeah.
participants will join us and they will be able to listen
Yeah.
to the webinar. This is the third Indian Library Association webinar, and I would like, we are very thankful to Dr. Mohan Kherde, sir, who has initiated this webinar on behalf of MUKLA.
Priya, you can start with the introduction now.
Okay, sir, I'll start.
You can start. Wait.
A very good afternoon to all. I am Dr. Priya Rai. I am very happy to greet all the participants and the respected delegates on behalf of Indian Library Association and Maharashtra University and College Libraries Association. I extend my welcome to the third webinar, which is organizing on behalf of MUKLA. Friends, we are very fortunate that today we have Dr. Professor Ranjan Velukar, sir, former Vice Chancellor, Mumbai University, Maharashtra, who joined us to deliver his keynote address. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaskar, sir. I would also like to extend my welcome to Dr. Mohan R. Kherde ji, President MUKLA and Council Member of ILA.
Thank you, Dr. Priya.
We have with us today Dr. Owen Chaube, who is General Secretary, Indian Library Association, Dr. Pradeep Rai, Vice President, Indian Library Association, Dr. Akash and Dr. Arjun, Technical Management, Dr. D.R. Deshpande, Dr. Vinay Patil and Dr. Milind, and the program is being covered or reported by Dr. Sonam Singh. She's from Indian Law Institute. I welcome all the delegates to this webinar. Friends, that's all you know that ILA is India's oldest library association, dedicated to support and foster all the endeavors associated with the academia. The recent and sudden disruption in functioning of regular education system due to the unprecedented public health emergency has started discussion across academia about how to carry on. ILA has leap-forged towards e-learning and frame this webinar series. The mission behind this series is to support education sectors towards achieving best practices and learning during this COVID-19 pandemic period. Our first webinar was conducted on 6th May 2020 on the topic Combating COVID-19 Pandemic, Perspective Role of Libraries as Means of Free Flow of Information on this e-platform, where we have witnessed more than 500 participants registered and many more were on live streaming on the official page of Facebook. Opening remarks was made by Professor B.D. Kumar, President ILA, where he focused more on development of public libraries. The keynote speaker was Professor Dr. J.P.S. Jurel, Director, InfilmNet Center. He wisely explained how InfilmNet is working hard to provide various services like Shodh Ganga, eVidwan, Shodh Sindhu, and many more. The invited talk was delivered by Dr. D.V. Singh Sir, former librarian, University of Delhi. He explained the role of libraries and duties of librarians in the challenging situation. We have another young panelist in that session, Dr. Akash Singh, Assistant Librarian, NLU Delhi. He highlighted the duties of library professional as educational warriors in this difficult situation. The concluded remarks was made by Dr. Priya and Dr. O.N. Chaube, General Secretary. Friends, I would also would like to share with you the details of our second series, which was on the topic best practices and innovation services during national lockdown. Trends, issues and challenges for academic institutions and libraries. The keynote address was delivered by Professor Vijendra Kumar, who is a Vice Chancellor, Maharashtra National Law University, Nagpur, and Professor G.S. Bajpai, Professor and Registrar, NLU Delhi. The session was continued with two more speakers, Dr. Manish Bajpai from Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow, and Dr. Priya Rai, NLU Delhi. The convener was Dr. Akash, and vote of thanks was Dr. O.N. Chaube. Well, friend, today's webinar is on a very important topic. The topic of today's webinar is future libraries. As digital libraries revolution sweep us towards the 21st century, where issues, passions, anxieties are evoked when we consider a place of library as a future. The academia are good forced towards education 4.0, and the future of libraries are considered to depend towards intelligence-based agent, connected web, intelligence, artificial intelligence, intelligence connections, intelligence-based web, cutting-edge display, and infinite creative spaces. With this note, I would like to invite Dr. Pradeep Rai ji, who is a Vice President, to give a brief introduction about Indian Library Association. Dr. Pradeep Rai.
Yes. I welcome you all in this third webinar of ILA, which is going to be conducted with the collaboration of Mukla. First of all, I welcome the chief speaker of today's webinar, Professor Velukar, Dr. Mohan Kherde, Professor B.D. Kumar, Dr. Priya Rai, Dr. Akash Singh, Dr. O.N. Chaube, and all the webinar team and the participants. I welcome you all in this third webinar of ILA. Now I am going to give you the brief detail about the Indian Library Association. Friends, ILA was formed on 13th September 1933 on the occasion of first All India Library Conference held at Calcutta. This is the largest professional body in the field of library and information science in the country. It is the premier national association representing the library profession in the country. At the time of its inception, there was two major broad objectives: furtherance of library movement in India, promotion of training of librarians, and improve the status of libraries, as at that point of time, our profession was in developing phase. Later on in the year 1935, two more objectives were also added. That was promotion of research in library science and cooperation with international organization with similar objectives. And later on in the year of 1970, three more objectives also added, like publication of bulletin, periodicals, books, and to assist the establishments, libraries, documentation centers, to facilitate them and to up-to-date themselves, as well as to promote of appropriate library legislations in the country in various states, to do all such things to help achieve above mentioned objectives. The amendments also inserted later on, like providing common forum to all professionals in the country for holding conferences, meetings, discussions, etc., as well as accreditation of institution imparting library and information science education and training, promotion as well, because this is one of the concern for the library professionals, teachers, and persons whomsoever is working in libraries. And the headquarters of ILA is in Delhi, and now it is functioning from a flat which is purchased by ILA, and it is there. We are also in process of taking some land uh, in some good area in Delhi, and we have requested to DDA to provide us on some land to for conducting our activities. As far as our membership is concerned, we are having the 8 type of members: pattern, honorary members, life members, library association member, institutional member, ordinary member, associate members, as well as the foreign members and foreign institutions. Our body is executed by 11 members, which consist of one president, one senior vice president, one general secretary, one treasurer, two secretaries. One of the secretaries take care the publications, as well as one of librarian, PRO, and 3 members which we nominate from the council itself. Our ILA council is the highest body which consists all the previous presidents, as well as the members elected from the 6 zones of the country and 16 members from the open constituency, as well as we consist of the 11 sectional committees for taking care of the various fields of the libraries, like agriculture, government libraries, engineering library, education, oriental library, public library, school library, special library, university and college library, as well as the new thing, that is library and information technology. Till now, we have conducted 64 conferences on India level, and out of 64, more than 10 are of international in nature. As well as we have a special mention of conducting the UAP program as in the year of 1985, as well as FID regional seminar in November 1985. ILA also hosted the IFLA General Conference in Delhi in 1992. ILA organizes many seminars in the country, and usually we organize one of the seminar in Pragati Maidan each and every year during the World Book Fair, as well as we celebrate the Librarians Day, that is the birthday of our father of library and information science, Padam Shri Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, on 12th August each year, with collaboration to so many organizations, state associations, and institutions. In our publication part, we published the one of the prominent Journal of Indian Library Association from 2011 onwards. Its name is Journal of Indian Library Association. However, it was started in the year of 1942, and it was discontinued 2 times. And Dr. S.R. Ranganathan started ABGILA, Annals, Bulletin and Granthalaya of Indian Library Association. We have also published the Indian Library Directory, all the proceedings we have published, and survey of public library services in India, as well as the 50 years of ILA, we have also published it. One of the major documents, that is the draft of Model Public Library, also published, which was drafted by V. Venkata Paya, one of the famous public librarian from Tenali. We are having the prizes also in our list to boost up the professionals as well as the libraries to work for the development and work smoothly for the profession. And it consists PSG Kumar Lifetime Achievement Award, Kola Best Librarian Award, LM Padya Best University Library Award, as well as some of the awards for the best paper writing and presented, like C.D. Sharma and P.V. Varghese. We used to give these awards during the conferences. After, whatever the paper published and presented well in the conferences. Our association with the so many official bodies, like related to enacting library legislation, and for the betterment, salary grade, service conditions, etc. I want to special mention that during the 7th pay review committee recommendations, we have given the proper representation to the pay review committee and met them, and we have given the very comprehensive document regarding all the anomalies and problems of the librarians of the university and colleges. And I want to share here that our all recommendations accepted by them, and even the language is the same whatever we have given in our document except retirement age and designation. As well as we worked for the national policy on library and information system earlier, as well as our representation is also there in Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library Foundation, as well as our representation is in Bureau of Indian Standards and NBT. Our professional relationship with the state body is also there. We are having the JOCLI, you all may aware, all the library professional aware, Joint Council of Library Association in India, and our president is the president of JOCLI, as well as general secretary is taking care of all the things of JOCLI, which is one of the body of all the associations of the country and headed by the library ILA. And we have created library ethics in the year of 1989, and all these ethics are in public domain as well. We are also member of IFLA, and we are participating in IFLA programs. Earlier in the year of 2018-19, our president and the then general secretary visited in Singapore and Vietnam for attending their seminars and giving the inputs from the India end, as well as UNESCO Public Library Manifesto, also translated by Indian Library Association in 15 Indian major languages. Like our future plans are to setting up the National Commission on Libraries, as well as it is very difficult to have the census of all libraries. We are also working in this direction, as well as we are in touch with the IFLA for giving the inputs for world map of libraries. All the times we are providing the information from India, and right now we are also in process of giving all these things, as well as LIS education and public-private partnership. So these are some of the points which I have picked. Otherwise, we are having so many other activities like the representation in CAS, and even in this COVID lockdown period, we have started the webinar series. And today is the 3rd webinar. Besides that, we are also going to conduct our next, which is in pipeline, on 14th May 2020 at 11 o'clock, and this talk will be delivered by the renowned personality, great mathematician, very good Chancellor of K.R. Mangalam University, former Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, Professor Dinesh Singh. And I also invite all the participants to please join this. He is very good speaker, and definitely you will charm to listen him, and I assure you that you will get benefited from him. As well as one of the announcement I want to make, we have a provision of issuing the e-certificates to each and every participant of these webinar series. So we are having so many other certificates in pipeline, and we are going to soon deliver them. If there is any problem in getting your certificates, please do not write in any social media. Just write to ILA General Secretary at gmail.com. As due to some restrictions in emails, so we are not in the position to send all the certificates in one go. Furthermore, I want to request each and every professional of the country, ILA take the inputs from the professions, state associations. So I request all the state association, all the professionals of the country, all LIS teachers to give your inputs, suggestions. We always welcome. You can send your suggestions on ilapresident@gmail.com or ilageneralsecretary@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you one and
Pradeep.
all.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep ji, for wisely and elaboratively explaining the role of Indian Library Association. As Indian Library Association is one of the oldest association in India and most respectable association. You have very well explained the role, function, working, publications, and most importantly, the representations, various representations which the association has created and provided in different platform for the betterment of librarianship and library profession. The whole nation, the whole library professionals, believe me, they are looking towards towards you all for the betterment and development of the library. Thank you so much for explaining this. Well, friends, this is a really very good time to give the introduction about our chief guest, Professor Dr. Ranjan Velukar sir, and to give a detailed explanation about MUKLA, Maharashtra University College and Libraries Association. In this regard, I would like to request Dr. Mohan Kherde sir, who is the president of MUKLA, to please give a brief detailed information about our chief guest and the achievements which MUKLA has done. Over to Dr. Mohan Kherde sir.
Thank you, Dr. Priya. Good afternoon, all of you, and welcome to today's ILA MUKLA webinar. The speaker, Honorable Dr. Rajan Velukar, former Vice Chancellor, University of Mumbai, ILA President, Dr. B.D. Kumbhar sir, Vice President, Dr. Pradeep Rai, General Secretary, Dr. O.N. Chobe, MUKLA Vice President, Dr. D.R. Deshpande, General Secretary, Dr. Vinay Patil, Joint Secretary, Dr. Milind Anasani, Webinar Coordinator, Dr. Priya Rai, Dr. Akash Singh, Mr. Arjun, Dr. Sonam, Dr. Divi Singh, Dr. Narendra Shokin, all more than 500 participants, ladies and gentlemen. Today's webinar on libraries in future is jointly organized by Indian Library Association and Maharashtra University and College Librarians Association. Being a president of Maharashtra University and College Library Association, I will take this opportunity to introduce the activities of MUKLA. Unofficially, MUKLA is established in 2012 when the government of Maharashtra floated the draft of the Maharashtra Public Universities Act on Internet in December 2011 to invite the required suggestions from stakeholders from higher education. After gone through this draft, we librarians felt that some points given in the draft is not favorable to the librarians and library profession. Then we decided to prepare the draft of suggestions and to submit it to the government of Maharashtra. Accordingly, we unanimously prepared the draft and submitted it to the then Honorable Higher Education Minister, having detailed discussion with him on it and the present situation of library profession in Maharashtra. I feel very happy to say here that after continuous follow-up, we have succeeded in making the necessary changes in the Act. And it was happened only because of the unity shown by librarians in Maharashtra. After this success, for the welfare and development of the librarians and library profession, we officially registered the association in the year 2014 in the name of Maharashtra University and College Librarian Association. The association has central council and 11 sectional councils. The association has developed a sectional council for each state university led by a coordinator, secretary, and 9 executive members. The president oversees the organization through the Central Council with the help of the Vice President, General Secretary, Joint Secretary, and 35 other executive members. It should be noted that Mukla also played major role in the changes found in the UGC Regulation 2018 regarding librarians along with Indian Library Association. During very short span of time, Mukla started 3 awards for the librarians working in higher education in Maharashtra to motivate them to work for the development of the profession. Being a president of Mukla, I must say here that Dr. Dilip Deshmukh from Bhusawal donated rupees 1,50,000 to association. From it, we have started Mukla Excellent Librarian Award in the memory of his beloved mother. Similarly, Dr. Umajin Alle from Wardha donated rupees 51,000. From this donated amount, we started Mukla Best Research Article Award in the memory of his beloved father. Mukla organizes annual conferences at various places in Maharashtra. Till conferences are organized, with the remaining funds from these conferences, we are providing financial assistance to librarians for doing minor research projects. In this too, librarians in Maharashtra are making donations to the association. Mukla also decided to start Mukla newsletter and few publications in future. Friends, during the lockdown period, Amravati, Pune, Jalgaon, and other university sectional councils separately organized 3 days webinar on various topics, and some other activities are also being covered during lockdown period for librarians and the students of various colleges. Friends, now I introduce you all today's speaker, Honorable Dr. Rajan Velukar, former Vice Chancellor, University of Mumbai. Sir hold master degree and PhD in statistics. His expertise is on probability physics. He has wide experience in the field of higher education in terms of teaching at UG and PG level, academic, administration, training and capacity building, community services, and especially for youth development. He started his career as a lecturer in statistics from Government Vidarbha Institute of Science and Humanities, Amravati. He was appointed as a Vice Chancellor of Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Mukta Vidyapith during 2004 to 2009. After completion of tenure as a Vice Chancellor, he joined as a Director of Sydenham Institute of Management Studies, Research and Internship Education in September 2009. Again in 2010, he had been appointed as a Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai by the Honorable Chancellor of Maharashtra State. He worked there up to 2016. He was also a Vice Chancellor of GH Raison University during the period of 2017 to 2019. Friends, he was an officer on special duty in Higher and Technical Department of Government of Maharashtra, and also served as Deputy Secretary Education to the Governor of Maharashtra during 2002 to 2003, before joining as a Vice Chancellor of Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University, Nashik. Sir has also extended his expertise on Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation as a board member. He was Board of Governors member on the Dun School. He also worked as a program officer in Commonwealth Secretariat. Overall, he is my respected guru. He taught me statistics when I was a student of MSc Statistics. Today, such a good academician, excellent administrator, especially book lover, knowledgeable personality is with us. On behalf of ILA and Mukla, I would like to thank him from the bottom of my heart for accepting our invitation. Thank you very much. With these words, I take leave and request Honorable Dr. Rajan Vedukar to please guide us on future libraries. We look forward to hearing from you on this topic. Please, Honorable Dr. Rajan Vedukar, sir. Thank you.
Am I audible and
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pranam and good evening, everybody. Dr. Pradeep Rai, Shri Mohan Kherde, Dr. Chaube, Professor Kumbhar, Dr. Priya Rai, Dr. Sonam Singh, Dr. Deshpande, Dr. Patel, Dr. Anasane, Dr. Arjun, and the other dignitaries and the participants in this lecture series. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let me first thank the organizers and especially Dr. Mohan Kherde for giving me an opportunity to meet all the librarians across this country. You are the most important persons handling a most important department that is called as library. Without library, I don't think anybody might have achieved whatever they have achieved in their life. And therefore, you have played, and the libraries have played very, very important role in every learned person's life. So thank you very much for that, for providing the services to all the people, those who have learned and those who have used the resources from libraries. I am sure all of you must be taking care of yourself and taking care of your clientele, mainly the faculty, researchers, and students. Friends, let me just accept in front of all of you, those who are listening to me, I am not from a field of library. So I don't know why Mohan has asked me to speak in this seminar. So I am odd man out. I am not from your field, but whatever my observations and whatever I feel, I would like to put it before all of you. I have only experience of using the library. I have only experience of constructing two beautiful libraries, one in Yashwantrao Chauhan Maharashtra Open University and one in University of Mumbai. So apart from that, I am just your customer, your valued customer. Friends, all of us know that we are going through a very unprecedented situation, not only in our country, but across the world, across the globe. I'm not going to deal with that mostly because earlier two lecture series have been on COVID-19. But still, I would like to give you an idea of what happened after Second World War. On 6th of August and 9th of August, there was bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know the history, what happened. Immediately after the bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Second World War got over. And then the people, the leaders realized that something went wrong. And the devastation which has happened, we all have read. We just can't imagine. And therefore, that time, the world leaders, they said, now, whatever we need to start from this point of time, let us call it as a zeroth year. Friends, on 6th of August and 19th of August, 9th of August 2020, we are going to complete 75 years to that devastating event. Now, we have to introspect what has happened in last 75 years. Not only in terms of economy, not only in terms of education, but also in terms of libraries. What kind of developments which we have done? How we have taken this library to the people? That we need to introspect. You all can introspect in terms of library. But in terms of other things, yet we have not achieved what we should have been. And therefore, the issue has cropped up in 2020. The discussion is going on across the globe. Now we need to consider this 2020 also as the zeroth year. The whole paradigm has shifted because of this COVID-19 and because of this physical distancing. The whole paradigm has shifted, and therefore we need to change our landscape of libraries also. Now, immediate service, which of course you must be providing, but then the immediate service because of this COVID-19 is, number one, is to promote public health awareness. Each library can promote the health awareness by creating and disseminating information relating to preventive measures. You have sufficient material with all of you. See, since last 5,000 years, 20 pandemic and epidemics came in this world. Now you have the data. What steps were taken at that time? Can we learn from them? What kind of communication had failed at that time? And therefore we should see that we should not fail in communicating to the large number of people. And therefore the most important thing is authentic information. And therefore, in the present situation, the role of librarian is disseminating proper, authentic information and create an awareness on public health. The second thing is to support resources to research teams, to individual researchers, and the information to the faculty, because the faculty are online. They need it. And therefore, you have to provide the information regarding the latest development, whatever are going on in this field, the latest research and the latest literature which we need to provide. Now, what kind of mathematical models which are created all over the world? What kind of research which is going on in the entire world? What kind of drugs which they want to come out with? What kind of literature they will need? What kind of vaccine which they are going to come out? And what kind of support which we can give it to the researchers, to the research teams, and to the faculty. That is very, very important. To the faculty, I must tell you that faculties are at home. Maybe as soon as the lockdown came, they might have kept their books in the department. They may be needing it. Now, what kind of support systems through online which you can provide? And therefore, the role of librarian under this situation, later I will talk about what kind of libraries, future libraries we should have. But in this COVID-19 situation, in this pandemic situation, I think this is the second one. And the third one, we have our users. To make the core needs of regular library users, how are we supporting them? I will just tell you that one girl appeared in an examination from an international airport, and she needed some material from the library to read because she just left. This has happened in one of the university in UK. And then she requested the librarian that I want material on this, and this. Can you send it? And I must tell you that the material was sent within half an hour. And the child appeared in examination from the airport online. Now, can we deliver this fast the information? We are doing it. You have online databases, but we need to go beyond that online databases. Day before yesterday, I was talking to young people, those who are studying for online examination. The children took objection. They said, we were in hostel, and because we had to left immediately, we left our notes and our books in the hostel. Can we provide them the textbooks or the reference book which they need? Today, the answer is not 100% yes, but 50% of the textbooks which we can, those who are available online, but rest of the books are not available. So this is a challenge before all of us. Before 10 days, I wanted a material. I wanted to correlate between the pandemics which came earlier, which I am talking about 20 pandemics. And I wanted to study the relationship between the economy immediately after the pandemic came and today when this pandemic came, how the economy is suffering, how far it is suffering, what kind of decisions they had taken. So I just wanted to find out, is there any commonality between all? Sociologically, psychologically, and even from the health perspective. But I am sorry, I am retired, and therefore I have no access to any library. Now, can we look at it as an opportunity? Because it is not only to serve the students, the faculty, and the researchers, but it is also necessary to serve people like me. People like old people, those who want books to read. There is an example at my house only. Whatever books in Marathi she has already read in her 91 years of life. Now she needs some other books. But those books are not available. Of course, she is not using the mobile phone or the laptop, but the books are not available. Now, how do we address these issues? And therefore, we need to go beyond our academic institutions, beyond our library, and we need to create a society which will use library as a resource to transform this world. We need to understand this pandemic sociologically, and therefore, your role in this pandemic is more important. I was really happy to hear Dr. Pradeep Rai when he told about how development of libraries are happening and what kind of changes which they are making. Friends, we are sitting on the information and knowledge. You have the maximum resources which nobody has. You have the interdisciplinary resources, multidisciplinary resources, and transdisciplinary resources. Now, you need to disseminate this, and therefore, we need to understand the kind of technology is being used. I must tell you, can we use AR, artificial intelligence, AI, artificial intelligence? Can we use AR and VR, augmented realities and virtual reality? Can we use 3D printers in our libraries so that we can know the behavior of each of our users? The moment you know the behavior of every user, then you can customize what kind of information he or she will need, what kind of test he or she has developed. And therefore, our libraries also will have to use artificial intelligence. Our libraries will also have to use the algorithms. We will have to create those kind of softwares, and we will have to use those kind of softwares which will tell the behavior of each user. We will have to understand the test of every reader of our library. Say, friends, this Yuval Noah Harari, in his book, he talks about hacking humans. And he says, I'll just read from his book. He says, humankind is facing unprecedented revolutions. All our old stories are crumbling. Because of this COVID-19, all our old stories will crumble. And no new story has so far emerged to replace them. How can we prepare ourselves and our children for a world of such unprecedented transformation and radical uncertainty? In which he talks further and says the human beings are hacked. He is not talking about hacking of computers and other things. He says Coca-Cola, Amazon, Baidu, and the government all are racing to hack you. Not your smartphone, not your computer, and not your bank account. They are in the race to hack you and your organic operating system. You might have heard that we are living in the era of hacking computers, but that's hardly half the truth. In fact, we are living in an era of hacking humans. So this is a negative thing, negative connotation, but can we convert that into a positive connotation and understand each of our user, our reader? From that perspective, you will have to understand what kind of libraries which we will need. Some of the things which we are doing. And all the public libraries or the university or college libraries have a very, very big competition. You have to earn money also. Say, suppose I am ready to become a member of any library, even if the library charges from me. I am not a student, I am not a faculty, I am not anybody. But I am not able to do that. Because I want the research material today to do some research on this pandemic. It's not available. You can charge, you have an opportunity to earn money also. In the outside space of our institutions, people are making money. They are customizing the information and then giving it. My son-in-law is providing information to all the politicians. Doing research, what they will need doing research and providing that kind of information to them. So they have created, he has created his community. Can we create our community outside this? Because budgets are dwindling. And you know, library is really, I am telling you, I was vice chancellor of 2 universities, where when I created a library in one of the university, and I spent a lot of money on the creation of library because I wanted the space to look as if it is giving cool to every reader. So I had to necessarily spend little more money. And then people were not ready. Why are you spending money on library? I was amazed. Why are we opposing? Library is a space which everyone needs. And it is one of the best library building. I'm not talking about the content, but the best library. A very nice landscape. The activity which has to be created in the library is also more important. But when I'm sitting in the library, I should feel good. I should not feel pressurized that so many books are here and all those. And therefore, infrastructure also matters. And therefore, you all will have to pressurize the vice chancellor. You all will have to pressurize the funding agencies to create the future libraries. And libraries are not going to disappear. People may come in less, but they are not going to. So what kind of challenges which you have? And what is the current state of libraries we need to think? And all of you, since you are the librarian, you know better than me the current state of library. Now, what are the new challenges and competitions which you are going to face? You are also going to face the competition. I am going to come to that. You will have to think what kind of competition which you are going to come across. As I have given you an example of customized content given to your user. I will not search, but if you can give me a customized content, whether I am appearing in an examination, whether I am using it for research, or I am just using it to disseminate that information. What kind of videos which I can use for 3 minutes in my class? So you will have to do research continuously, and you will have to read the minds of people and the mindsets of people, and then accordingly serve them. And therefore, artificial intelligence is must. You can't do away with that. And the third is, this is a digital age library. Even though I am very comfortable in reading the printed books, but sometimes when you are traveling, you don't have the printed book, but then you have the mobile. I tell you, I am on mobile since last 2 months. Every day I am having some meetings or some program or something. But everybody is not comfortable. So they will need some books to read, and they may come to your library. And therefore, what kind of digital age libraries which we will be having, and what kind of competition. So these are the 3 things which I will just say. People ask question, is library use decreasing? I must say, library use is not decreasing. Coming to library is decreasing. Use of library is increasing. It is not decreasing. Only people are coming in less. Are they disappearing? Libraries cannot disappear in this world till this world survives. So we don't have to worry about this. These are the questions which they are asked. In 2011, there were 17,000 libraries in US, whereas there were 14,000 McDonald's joints. So they were less. Everybody eats, everybody doesn't read. Even then, there were more number of libraries. So you don't have to worry. And 11,000 coffee shops were. So still the libraries were more. And today I must tell you that in our country also there are so many libraries opening. So many young people are coming and establishing libraries. That Oro University in Surat, they have established a library in one village. A fantastic library. The design school designed it, and the NSS students put the books into that library. For kids also, they need a space to play. So, therefore, now we need to ask how long we need to go and how do we want to go. That is what we need to think of. As I said, the budgets are decreasing, and therefore, there is an opportunity for all of us to earn money. How are we going to earn money other than what budgets are given to us? Think of innovation. How can we make more and more number of people? Because you have digital. Now you are digital. You can digitally provide them the books, trends. And now you have the generation, which is a digital generation. Now there are changes which are happening in information consumption. How these people are consuming the information. Online, on demand. I want this information. Can you give? You may charge. I may pay. But please give me the information. As and when I ask. The digital media, e-books, streaming video, DIY, do it yourself. This is what is happening. Do it yourself. Can we have a space for that in the library? BYOD. BYOD is bring your own device. We need to allow that in the classroom. You bring your device. Ubiquitous access. That is on mobile. Information is social, friends. Remember this. So what kind of new competition which we have faced in last 10 years? Now, what kind of traditional libraries, library roles we have played and we are playing? One is information organization. We have organized the information. Physics books will be here, statistics will be here, this will be here, and that kind of information organization we have done. Resource recommendations. You also have recommended the resources. Preservation, very, very important, which you will have to continue. And the library collection. We have done the collection in the library. We have to go to the mountain. We have to reach out to the community. Now, what kind of competitions which we are facing today and which we have faced in last decade? Google search. Anybody wants information, they'll just type it Google, and then of course those who are not that serious researcher. But else, everybody is going to Google search. The competition to library. Amazon reviews. Goodreads. Amazon and a long tail. Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Hulu. This is what the competition which has been created in last 10 years. Before all of us, we need to understand and we need to compete with them, and therefore we need to innovate. Because then it is a question of us also. How do we survive? How libraries survive? And therefore we need to understand the competition and the future competition which we are going to face through digital. Now, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu are the digital content providers. Their cost is comparatively lower than what kind of books. A Kindle book is cheaper than a print book. So those who are comfortable with it, they are going for that. So it is high stakes. We need to understand what is happening. How do we future-proof our libraries is a question which we should ask ourselves and respond to the new expectations of these users. That is what we need to do. What are their expectations? They don't wait and see. They learn and do. They have lost patience, especially these young people. We need to understand their behavior, where I talked about AI, artificial intelligence. Meet the dwindling budgets with new revenue sources. What are the revenue sources which you should find out? Now there are some suggestions for this new revenue sources is buy it now option. Selling air rights. If you're digitally, then you can sell your rights. Selling underperforming branches. Leasing library space to coffee shops. Doesn't matter. If your library is big, you can have a coffee shop. I want a comfort. While reading, I want to have a sip of coffee. Kickstarter. And there are so many other things through which you can. And giving membership to many people, even outside your space. How do you save the cost? Can you think of access versus ownership? Say, you don't have space to keep the books. All the time, whenever I have shifted from 3 times in Mumbai, 3 houses, then to Nasik, then to Chandigarh, then to Nagpur, then to Amravati, all the time I have sold half of the books which I was having because of lack of space. So I don't want to own those books, but I want access to them. I want to write notes, whatever I have done, and that is available now. Or a shared ownership. If I alone cannot spend money, then I can share ownership. And you also can think of that ownership. Then we need some patrons, those who can come and then help us in this new digital age. So embrace new and emerging technologies. And this is a continuous process. It cannot end just if today you have used the technology and tomorrow it will not happen. Tomorrow some other technology will come. So you have to embrace and use the emerging technology. Now, what are the mobile social applications? The whole world has changed. The communication has changed because of this cloud computing, social messaging, using social media, using on-demand digital content, on-demand analysis, on-demand reports. That is where the world is moving. Now, these e-books are available. Now, 33% of the Americans own a digital reading device of some kind. That is also happening in our country. And these children are getting information faster than us. Whenever I send something to my daughter that please read this, she says, I have already read it. So my speed of browsing and her speed of browsing, there is a difference. Her speed of reading and my speed of reading is different. So the world is really, really changing. People have iPads. So we need to understand. 95% of academic libraries in America are using e-books, sending these e-books to them. We need to understand this. Responsive web design. Now, a library is given a very limited space in the university website. Why can't you demand that you have your own website linked to the university website or to your organization website. I'm not, because I work in university, I'm using the word university, but I mean all the organizations. It has to be very dynamic and very responsive. You have all sort of wallets, so you can sell immediately. RFID card to you're using it. Now, there has to be a space in our library for augmented reality and virtual reality. I should go and sit somewhere, download something, and see a lesson taught of physics or chemistry on augmented reality or of autonomy. Now, all sort of wearable technology has come. Wearable technology is available. Only thing is, it is not affordable to many people. But slowly, it will be affordable to everybody. It will be available to everybody. So you should have to think of all those. Friends, data is very, very important. How can you make data available to people? Lot of data is created in the world. All the data is not available to people. Can you make it available to people? I read one book in which it was written that in Latin America, they have developed a software, and then the software reads the behavior of people, and through analytics, that software tells that after 7 days or after 15 days, there will be a disturbance in the community. There may be a fight in the community. That is the kind of predictive analytics is being used today. Now, can we use that kind of predictive analytics? And therefore, data is important in today's world. That is what Yuval Noah Harari talked about, hacking humans. You should always watch trends. What is happening? What kind of developments which are happening? Now, the gamification. What kind of games we have in our library which teachers can use? And the predictive analytics, 3D printers for industry. How are they going to choose? So this is all the innovative technologies which has come, and they are continuously coming. So you need to understand. You can go through, I can't show you this, but you can just go on the Google and then search for Gartner's hype cycle of emerging technology. He has made what kind of technologies which are coming and how the curve will be. You must read the reports. You can read Horizon's report on emerging technologies in higher education. You will understand. Then you have to reinvent yourself and your library spaces. You may have to have a maker space which is attached to the library, not attached to any department. So there are a number of maker spaces in the world. In the library, you must have 3D printers. So that if I get something and immediately if I want to know and print something, then I should be able to get it. You can charge for that. I don't know how many 3D printers are there in the library. The libraries must have the community spaces. As I said, even the television, why not? Which is connected to internet so that I can go on Netflix. You can charge for that and you can earn money. You'll have to create the community space. You'll have to have the information commons in your library, which many have done it. As I said, the library infrastructure, the spaces inside should be created in such a way that everyone who is coming and using the library should feel green, cool. So green and sustainable library. And for that, you will have to use the professionals in that field, those who can make your library cool. Maybe in future, you may have the bookless library. Bookless means the printed books, except the earlier whatever books which we have to keep. I was in Somaiya group of institutions. The director came to me and said that we need a library space. I asked them, how many books you have? She said, because if we keep more books, then the floor will come down because of the weight. Then I said, have you done the analysis? I asked how many books you have, how many titles you have. And I must tell you that for one book, because of the AICT, every year you buy 500 books. For one title, they had almost 5,000 books. Why do you need earlier editions? One earlier edition is sufficient, but in future you also don't need that. That is available digital. We're talking about digital libraries. So books will be more on the screen rather than in the shelf. So the you have to understand the role of future library in such scenario. Now, one is information filter. You have to filter the information and then supply to your people. You are the information organizer. You are the information aggregator. Aggregator's role is very, very important. Your role is information evaluator and recommender. Even to the faculties, you should recommend. And you are the information instructor. You have to do project management. You have to use information technology. You have to do knowledge management. You have to use emerging technologies. Website management, you have to do. It has to be very dynamic. Digital repositories, electronic resource management, you have to learn. Online community management and building space management. These are your new roles. Now in libraries also, in management education or any education, the students are asking about ROI. ROI is return on investment. If I am paying 8 lakhs of rupees fees, then what is the placement? How much time I am going to recover this money which I have invested? Now in libraries also, this concept people have started asking return on investment. And therefore, you will have to think of return on investment. Friends, use social media aggressively. You have to be visible, make yourself visible, and build relationship through the emerging technologies which you have. You must write articles on your website. You must write blogs. Libraries also should write blogs about your own thing. And then, therefore, your presence will be there on the screen. More the presence, you will be able to attract more number of people. Of course, you are attending the conferences and other things that you should. And you should take charge of knowledge dissemination. You should be the leader. People should depend on you. That is what you have the power. Just change. Take a leadership in your hand. People should depend on you. In fact, the role which you can play is improving teaching learning process. Because you have the resources. You can say that, sir, if you use this video in your class for 3 minutes, that is going to change. The students may understand. If you use this game in the classroom, they are going to understand better. And therefore, this is how you can make researchers, teachers dependent on you. If you make them dependent, you then can take the charge. I want all of you to take the charge. You must offer added values in your library, not just these books, digitally or physically. Think of those added values which you can create, and take it from me that you will become leader in information dissemination and giving experiences, creating experiences around the content. Content is developed by somebody. Content is delivered by somebody, but then how they can deliver that content? If you can become a tool, then the leadership will come. People will be dependent on you. At the same time, add value to earn revenue also. Keep writing blogs. Demand for your separate space of the website. There will be a link, but create a wonderful, excellent, dynamic website and change it every 2 years. Every 2 years. For all of this, you also will need additional staff, those who can manage the technology. You will also need research assistants. You should demand that also from your leaders of your organization. So friends, this is what I just wanted to put my thoughts before all of you. As I have said that I am not from your field, I am odd man out, and therefore I know that you are in this field and therefore you know much more than me. But I must say, whatever you were knowing, I tried to re-emphasize that. So friends, I must thank Dr. Mohan Kherde and the organizer for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to meet such a wonderful people. The library, I love the library more than any other space because I read a lot, because I feel that yet I have not learned anything and therefore I just read. But I purchase the books also, printed books. Digitally, unless and until it is not available printed, then only digital book I buy. So thank you. Thanks to the organizer for giving me an opportunity to meet such a wonderful people, around 300 plus. And at the same time, I thank all the participants for listening to me or hearing to me, whatever you have done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Mohan Kherde?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Should I take up now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for wisely elaborating about things. I also would like to thank Dr. Mohan Kherde ji for explaining about the role of Mukla and introducing sir, the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajan Velukar sir, among all the library fraternity. Sir, and let me tell you, sir, more than 500 participants has already joined with us. I would like to, yes, sir. I would like to thank you, sir, for being here with us and explaining about the role of libraries and librarians in a perspective of user and as an administrator. Sir, thank you for detailed explanation about shifted paradigm in the landscape of education and spurring new innovation in libraries for supporting and dissemination of authentic information to faculty and their in this pandemic period. Sir, I assure you that these developing technology, which you have very well explained, all the augmented technology, artificial intelligence, new webs, connection of webs, these kind of technological applications in the academia and library will unite across all borders and working towards common goal, which is improved access to scholarly communications and resources. In our last webinar also, Professor Bajpai sir has already also posed a question among the library fraternity, like sir, you have mentioned that libraries are ready to disseminate. Yes, there is a plethora of information lying in various platforms, which we can address and we can spread among the users. But we have to work on how the user will perceive it. It's the user. We will disseminate number of information to the user, whether they are ready to take it, and if they are ready to take it, because in academia, there is a segregation of users. They are young students, as well as we have a senior faculty members who are not much aware or acquainted about the technological aspects. So we need to work out. So you have very well said that we need to work out on the implementation of new technologies for learner, researchers. And sir, we hope, so you have rightly also pointed out that real innovations remains to be seen. We are yet to see the real innovation which is going on in other developed countries, and I hope with your support and your good leadership, we will be able to achieve it soon. So thank you, sir. With this note, I would like to thank you for being with us. I think there will be some. Thank you, sir. There will be some question answers. Maybe students, maybe participants would like to ask some questions. So I request participant to please put down your question in a question answer block, not in a chat box. Put all the queries which you really wanted to ask to any one of us. Please put in your queries in a question answer box. With this note, now it's time for presidential address, as we have Professor B.D. Kumbar sir among us, who is a president of Indian Library Association. Before I take the question answer, I would like to request Professor B.D. Kumbar sir to please address the gathering. Dr. Kumbar.
Thank you. Good evening to all. The most respected and honored the personality, not only in Maharashtra, all over India, that is none other than for today's evening, the speaker of our webinar series, Dr. Professor Rajan Velukar sir. Sir, really we all the LIS professionals participated in today's webinar series lecture. We are very lucky to listen to you, including me. Sir, on behalf of the Indian Library Association, thank you profusely for sharing your scholarly ideas. So for this, I also thank Dr. Mohan Kherde and his team, the president of MUCLA, as well as the office bearers of the MUCLA for introducing ILA and Professor Velukar sir, for providing a very, very nutritious food for all. Once again, I thank you, sir, for your scholarly ideas. So I am not going to deliver a presidential remark, because after listening to such a wonderful scholarly lecture, there is no meaning in reviewing once again the lecture delivered by Honorable former Vice Chancellor of Mumbai University. Sir, the contemporary academic and research libraries, they are positioning themselves as a network hub of scholarly knowledge, which requires not only a physical presence, but a digital one as well as the digital network also. As you have mentioned, that is in your speech, the partnership is most important. So due to shrinking budgets and increased focus on digital collections. Sir, on behalf of the Library and Information Science, the fraternity, I would like to assure you that already some of the central university libraries and special libraries, they are spending a lot of money that is only on the purchase of the e-resources. So the majority of the special libraries, they have been already converted as the digital libraries. So probably, as you said, that is in future, the more and more number of the university libraries, they are going to concentrate that is only on digital and electronic resources. Here, the collaboration between the libraries, it is going to enable the libraries to improve access for scholarly materials. The role of the librarian is evolving, increasingly being of a guide, friend, and a philosopher. Finding the right resources in a sea of content is more challenging now than ever before. So library is there to guide the users. As you have mentioned, as a one of the best user of the library, so the library is there to guide the users with some instruction, tools, experience, and vision. So there is an increasing need that is for the quality services. A library is a place to reveal and to make the invisible visible, that is in the digital environment, as you said. But the training for the personnel working in the academic as well as the special libraries to acquire the required skills and techniques is most important. Sir, during this occasion, I request the scholars and the former vice chancellor and the administrators like you, we have only one demand. The central government has to establish like the Indian Institute of Science that is at Bangalore. And similarly, the same organization to train our library and information science professionals in the field of library and information science. Sir, probably in future, we are going to keep in touch with you, and whenever your suggestions are required, I hope and I request Kerede, you have to be the advisor, the patron that is for the Indian Library Association. If such a personality like you, if you are as a patron working that is for the Indian Library Association, certainly the association is also, it will be in a position to achieve its predetermined the objectives that is in future. So you have explained, because you told odd man out, you are not an odd man. Today, listening to your scholarly lecture, your lecture, it is 1,000 times better than any professional, including me, that is in the field of library, especially the future of the libraries. Certainly, sir, you have to accept this. And finally, I thank the organizers as well as the participants. So those who have attended this lecture, you have to keep it in your mind, the use of the emerging technology as well as the technology that is going to change in future. So the use of the technology is the only way to achieve our goals that is in the future. With these few words, I thank once again our team for organizing a nice webinar series, especially the lecture delivered by our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, Dr. Kumbar,
Over
sir.
to Priya.
Yes, thank you, sir. Dr. D.V. Singh is also joined us. I welcome Dr. D.V. Singh, former university librarian, University of Delhi. Sir, you are welcome in this webinar. So would you like to share something with the audience?
Only very small question to our esteemed guest. It's a very nice presentation. I have no words to explain it. It was fantastic. But only one question. Sir has talked about ROI, return on investment. Library services are, sir, qualitative in nature. So to quantify the ROI, it's not possible. How it is possible? Could you give some light on this issue, sir?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking. See, what is happening is today in the organizations, organizations have started asking about your utility. Library is a service. Library is a service which people should not ask about the return on investment. But when I say return on investment, you should be able to do a research to show that how the life of people have transformed because of utilizing your services. I am not talking in terms of money, but in terms of the qualitative change which you have brought in the lives of people. For that, continuously you will have to do research. And therefore, I said artificial intelligence, so that you will know how you have made a difference in their life. From that angle, we need to take ROI. The investment, you cannot really get it, whatever investment, because the library card fees is very, very less, which you cannot. But in terms of the transformation, in terms of the change which you are bringing in the lives of people, that is your return. And that you should be able to show. And for that, you all people will have to do research.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a fantastic reply. And I'm really personally obliged with your, thought-provoking talk, and all library fraternity feel very much obliged by your time and your knowledge we got.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, DV sir. Sir, I request you to please remain with us, as various question has been posed, which we will be needing you to answer it. So the first question I can see in the question answer box, Dr. B.D. Kumbar sir, can you please answer this? Can there be a universal syllabus for library information science which will consist of at least all latest courses like web designing, development, required algorithms for libraries and others, at least IT field? By Vishal Gaikwad, sorry. Vishal Gaikwad.
Okay, thank you, Gaikwad. Just you have to go through our syllabi of the different universities and the schools of library and information science. Especially in my school, more than 50% of the papers we have introduced, they are all only IT related. Not only theory, including the practicals. Next question, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, Dr. DV, sir, can you answer this question from Santosh Patil, sir? When we purchase e-books and e-journal, the cost is recurring as we have to subscribe them annually. So the cost is additional burden. We need to overcome this problem. What need policy for that, and what is your comment on it? Dr. DV Singh, sir.
Yes, fine. Thank you. We do not buy e-books blindly without going in details of the e-books, number one. Number two, there are various models of the e-book. You buy the archive, you pay as per review. So there are many other issues in e-books. E-book is a good alternative, but it is not the only alternative. It is such a way we have to have the hard copies as well as e-book, but we should shift to the e-books in a very systematic manner. And so far book is concerned, it's always a recurring cost. If you buy a second edition, and after 1 year it comes third edition, then you buy the third one, like that. And if you buy the e-books, you should have the technology to preserve that book, to have not for permanent regions, transferring from the, and have discussions with the supplier. There is a transfer of technology, they will provide you free of cost. What they do, they okay, fine, and now they say we have changed the platform, now we have to pay for the platform. They charge hosting money. One time you pay and they charge the hosting money every year. So all these issues should be taken into consideration and should not rush into that. Go in a very, very systematic manner, then you will be very beneficiary of this ebook.
Thank you, sir. Those participants who wanted to have a question live, they can raise their hands. You can raise your hand we can put you live with our invited guests and all other participants who have joined us. Please raise your hands.
Priya,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You take only the questions for only our resource person today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, there is a question for Professor Rajan Velikar, sir. Sir, Anuj Chauhan has asked, being librarian, what contribution we can make for building our future libraries according to you?
Can you repeat the question?
Being a librarian, what contribution we can make for building our future libraries according to you?
As I have said in my lecture, various things, whatever. So you have an opportunity to take the leadership in disseminating the qualitative, authentic information to your users. And your users are different. Some faculties are there, some outsiders are there. So what you have to do is innovatively, you have to engage the user. As in teaching learning, what we call as, we calculate the engagement index. How do we engage them? You have to design a strategy of engaging them. If you are able to engage them, the satisfaction level of viewers will automatically go up. And of course, I don't know about the promotional challenges and all those things that of course your people can tell you, but you have to be innovative. You have to be engaging. You should be able to engage. And that is the issue which everyone is facing, not only librarians, but even the teaching community is facing. Even the administration is facing to engage teaching community. And the organizations are facing to engage their employees and their customers. So engagement is the most important thing. For that, you will have to innovate.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So there is one question in Marathi. I will try to read. Digital वातावरण आपणा सार्वजनिक ग्रंथालय चे अस्तित्व कसे टिकवून ठेवावे. I think I am not able to read it right now. If Dr. Kherde will take it up.
Transport Mohan Kherde.
Dr. Mohan, can you read the question and present it?
कसे टिकून ठेवावे.
So meanwhile, you'll read it. I'll just go through to another question. Sir, can we expect uniformity and common integrated approach in appointment, pay scale, working conditions, syllabus, rule, regulation, status all over the country?
Yeah, the curriculum, I would say that it can be flexible because you don't know what kind of situation which you have. The core thing should be taught to each and everybody across the globe. The core of your science has to be taught to everybody across the board. There has to be uniformity in that. But there has to be some innovation also in your curriculum. Core, each and everyone has to be uniform, but there has to be a flexibility. Say, for example, now in your library science, I don't know whether psychology is taught or not.
Some components are there, sir.
Some components are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For example, to understand the user behavior, user attitude, user needs, requirements.
That is good.
Some components.
Then artificial intelligence.
That is also there, sir.
Oh, very good.
Sir, library, sir, for your information, library science is not an independent subject. We have borrowed almost all the components, what we are teaching, that is in library science schools. They are all from psychology, mathematics, statistics, management, so including the computer science, etc.
So I really don't know about that, but there has to be flexibility because in hilly areas, the situation may be different. Isn't it?
But 70% of this, 70% of the syllabus we are following, that is from the CDC report. Remaining 30% that has been given to the local people.
Locally means local innovation has to be done.
Yes,
I am of that opinion.
Yes, yes.
And secondly, about the qualification, eligibility, and other thing has to be same across. The
Same.
pay scales also has to be same.
As prescribed by the UGC, sir.
Absolutely, it has to be.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Priya.
Yes, sir.
Our resource person want to leave the meeting because he has to attend another meeting. So please allow him.
Okay. Go for vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Vote for vote of thanks.
So, thank you, sir, for answering the questions which many have proposed, and I know that many.
Yeah, you hand over to the person who is going to deliver the vote of thanks now, because he is in.
Yes, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. Huh?
Don't take 2 minutes.
So,
take 1 minute.
okay, it's time, friends. Time for concluding remarks and vote of thanks. I'll just go through that. This is high crisis period and pose various challenges and question marks before the academia, and yet we have taken many questions. So by this, we'll say no matter how the future library will look like, the main mission will remain same, that is spreading knowledge. With this note, I would like to request Dr. Owen Choube ji to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Dr. Choube.
Thank you, Priya Raji. Good evening, all of you. It is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks in this third webinar of ILA webinar series. On behalf of City and College Librarians Association and on my own behalf, first and foremost, I would like to express my profound gratitude to Chief Guest and Keynote Speaker of today's webinar, Learned Professor Rajan Velukar, former Vice Chancellor, Mumbai University, for accepting our invitation and graced the occasion. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking lecture. I am very grateful to President of Indian Library Association, Dr. B.D. Kumbhar, who has always encouraged and give us free hand to conduct ILA webinar series. Thank you, sir. I must express my sincere thanks to Dr. Mohan Kherde, President Mukla, former Vice President of ILA and present Council member of ILA, for accepting ILA collaboration with Mukla for this webinar. Thank you, sir. I express my deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Pradeep Rai, Senior Vice President of ILA, for his brief introduction of ILA and support. I also wish to express my hearty thanks to Dr. Priya Rai, convener of ILA webinar series, and her regular support. Thank you, Dr. Priya, to place on record that ILA is very thankful to Mukla and its office bearer like Dr. D.R. Deshpande, Vice President, and Vinay Patil, General Secretary, Dr. Milind Ansane, Joint Secretary, and others like Ganesh Kulkarni, and thanks to all members of Mukla. I will fail in my duty if I don't mention the support team and coordinator of this webinar series, Dr. Akash Singh, Dr. Arjun, Dr. Shivji Prasad, Mrs. Sonam, for their support and extraordinary support. Thanks is also due to Dr. D.B. Singh for joining and encouraging us. Last but not least, ILA and Mukla is very thankful to all the participants from across the country. Thank you, sir. Once again, I would like to announce that next very important lecture series is of Dr. Padma Shri Dinesh Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Delhi University, on 14th. Once again, thanks to one and all. Thank you.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yes.
And invite everyone to join that.
Yes, yes. I'm inviting everyone. Please join us on 14th. This is a very important lecture of former Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, Padma Shri Dr. Dinesh Singh. Thanks to once. Thank you. Thanks to all.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you so much for delivering a lecture. With this note, I will end this webinar and I request all the participants to rejoin on 14th. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. I just want to one point in the last for all participants and panelists. Please don't leave this webinar by your back button. Just leave the this webinar with the help of the leave button shown on your screen. Just
Leave
for the
meeting.
security purpose.
Okay.
Leave meeting. Leave meeting. Thank you. very much.
And moreover, tell them on 14, if in case
Okay.
they are not able to connect, they should go on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Yes, we are having very good lecture by the renowned academician, mathematician, rock star, vice chancellor, Professor Dinesh Singh. You must attend on 14th at 11 o'clock. If you are not unable
11
to,
a.m. 11 a.m.
11 a.m. 11 बजे सुबह. और अगर आप कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाते तो फेसबुक लाइव के थ्रू और यूट्यूब चैनल के थ्रू आप जरूर उस लेक्चर को सुने. बहुत बढ़िया माइथोलॉजिकल, मैथमेटिकल सब तरह का उनका लेक्चर्स आपको सुनने का मौका मिलेगा.
Thank you,
धन्यवाद
sir.
सबका.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya.
Close.
Mr. Host, please end the program.
Yeah.
Mr. Host, please end the program.